I was told. So where was I? I was on the bus, I think. And I got a phone call from Lucy, who directs it, and she said, "We're thinking about a pencil moustache for Race," because obviously David Niven played it in the film. So I thought, oh, okay. And then I came to rehearsals with my and I thought, well, I won't do the pencil. I won't shave it into a pencil until like the end of the rehearsal. So I came in with my massive moustache, and she went, "Oh, well, someone else might be having." So Terry, who plays Septimus, they thought he might have a pencil moustache, but he doesn't actually. So I just kept growing it, and I love it. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it quite suits you," and I think I quite like it. I quite like having it, actually. I think actually it feels like a colonel's moustache, because I remember looking at Kitchener, pictures of Kitchener and people like that in the 20s and 30s, and I thought it looks like a colonel's moustache, because they had big, hefty, massive moustaches. So I think it's that. I think it looks like a colonel, so I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with my moustache, and it makes you speak in a different way. It makes you approach it in a different way. You look in the mirror and you don't look at you. You look at someone else, which is often the thing. And I think I love it. It's helped me so much. They say, "What did you base your performance on?" You go, "My moustache. The moustache is the key to the whole thing." But it feels like that. It does feel like that, and you don't feel you're in the modern day. You feel like you're in the 30s, because obviously I've never had a moustache. Well, I've had a moustache. I did Journey's End many years ago, and I played a colonel actually, and I had a moustache then, but it wasn't as hefty as this. I should have done this.
Love, tenderness, devotion. These emotions make me extremely nervous. It is true that in fiction they are often beautiful, but in real life they can be catastrophic.
I think we talked about this last time, because it's that thing of going, people say, "Oh, I've read the book 3 times, but when I watched it, I still forgot what happened at the end." She wipes your memory after you've read it or seen it. So she still gets you surprised somehow. And I think that's the skill of hers. It's not like people have got bad memories. I think somehow she takes you on the journey afresh every time. It's it's an extraordinary thing. That's why people keep rereading her. Countless people. So I've read it so many times, and I think that's her. I think that's her skill. There's an argument to say that she's never been as popular as she is now, which is quite extraordinary. And because I think when you're very, 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 when you're the best at something, which I think she is, I think she's the best at these types of storytelling, this type of storytelling. And I think so many people now, whenever you turn on the television, there's a murder mystery. Just everywhere there's a murder mystery, and they're all influenced by her. So why not go back to the mother lode? Why not go back to the one who started it all, who created these stories, who wrote so many different types of stories? So I think what Lucy does brilliantly, who's the director, she highlights the extremes. So she will make it very funny, but also very dark. It's sort of in multicolor. She'll sort of, shine a light on how extreme these stories can actually be. It's not cozy. There's this thing that's come out called cozy crime, which I can't stand. I can't stand the thing called cozy crime. But that's what people talk about when they talk about the Father Browns and the Sister Bonifaces, both of which I've been in, both of which are amazing actually, and they're not cozy, but because there's murders. But people talk about that, but we don't do the coziness particularly. We kind of make it extreme, so therefore it's more vivid for an audience. So I think, that's why I keep coming back, because you get nice parts, and also because you get to show an audience, and they get excited. They get excited by it, which is great. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect that would happen, because you never do. You never know what's going to happen. It's like Holby. I thought I'd be there for 6 months, and then it becomes 12 years. So you never know. You never know what happens with these things. But I didn't think I'd be doing 3. It's extraordinary, really. It's extraordinary.
In the course of this case, I came as close to the heart of evil as I have ever come.
He knows that he's the brightest man in every room. So and he can play that. And Mark does that brilliantly. He plays that. He sort of brings it back. He sort of has a twinkle in his eye about knowing what's going on. And he's always one step ahead. And you're right, the humour comes out brilliantly in that. Because when I think in the films, you can get away in film with not having humour. I think there isn't much humour in certain adaptations on screen, which I think is fantastic. But you can, in your living room, you can have that. But I think in a theatre, you need that. You need that hook. You need to be hooked in by a bit of humour, and then you're on board, And I think that does help, particularly in the first half. You need a bit of humour just to get the audience engaged, and then they're in. They're in, and then you can do what you want with them, really. But I think you're right. I think there's that brilliant humour in Poirot and other characters as well. The double act. I get a double act with him in this, and I had a double act with the Poirot with Michael's brilliant Poirot in Murder on the Orient Express. So it helps me. It helps other characters, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Oh God, I hope GLYNIS is like I imagine her to be, and she is. She just is. She's so wonderful. And Michael as well. Michael, her husband, he's in his 80s, and he looks ridiculously well as well. They both look extraordinary.
Make these. I got to talk to you.
Dempsey? Well, what a surprise. Would you like me to show you around?
You're not going to believe this.
Those are the days when you got properly huge viewing figures. Because now, I mean, it started to water down in the 90s when you had slightly more things going on, and now you've got all the channels. So it's much less. God knows how many people. It must have been about 16, 17 million who used to tune into Dempsey at Makepeace. And also because they then got together. I mean, she talks about it because obviously the tabloids, leapt onto that because you were like this massively successful TV show, and then suddenly it came out that they were actually getting together, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, life imitating art," And I think that, but even before then and after then, she was in EastEnders. She's been in Hollyoaks. She's done countless things, which has kept her up there really. And she's wonderful, and she's fantastic in this. She's hilariously funny. Her character is a wonderful character. She plays her to the hilt, and she's marvellous in this. Really is. People loved Holby, and if you were lucky to be in it for a long time, obviously they grew attached to certain characters because we were in it for a long time. And I think that going around the country, still third time round, you go around the country, still stopped, and people go, don't hide behind that moustache. I know who you are. That sort of stuff. But they say, "Oh my God, I loved that program. I was gutted when it finished, and thank you for being Sasha," and all that sort of lovely stuff. And it did change my life, and we all keep in touch. We're all a bit of a family. We all keep in touch. We all got on so well, and yeah, it'll always be there. It'll always be a marvelous thing, I think, and I loved it so much. I love Cardiff. I can't tell you how excited I am. I just, my wife. I know you did, but my wife is she's North Walian, and there's something about Cardiff. I mean, you always do interviews and you say it, but I really mean, I'm from the bottom of my heart. I used to bring my father-in-law, who's Welsh, to the rugby, and I filmed there. And also, weirdly, I've had separate times with each of my family. So, I filmed Casualty with my youngest daughter. I was there with my eldest daughter for a while, and obviously Becky was in Moto with me. So it's a family thing as well. But I just love the people. I love the people. It's just you walk down the street and everyone's wonderful. Yeah, and also it's that thing, I said this before when I did a Q&A. You walk down the street and you hear a foreign language. And that's, in this country, I think that's unique. I mean, I don't think you hear it, and I think that's such an incredible thing. And I think the people are amazing. And I also think culturally, it's an incredibly important place. I mean, my political hero obviously is an Iron Bevan, and Nye Bevan is the statues there and everything. But but I think culturally it's unbelievably important, and I think there's nowhere more culturally sort of aware than Cardiff in the country, and I think it's so special. I really do. I can't wait to get there. I remember, I'll tell you a story, which was my father-in-law. We came to see the Scotland game, and it was obviously Wales versus Scotland, and we're in the pub, we're in the tap in the main drag, and we were, and the Scottish came in, the pipes came in, and they were the bagpipe gang, and they were in the doorway, and they were playing their bagpipes, and all the Welsh were cheering, and all the Scottish were cheering, and all the Celts were cheering. And I said to Reg, my father-in-law, I said, I'll go and get you around. And he went, play down the English accent. I'm just saying, play down the English accent a little bit, because you might not be welcome in this pub. And I thought, fair point, absolutely fair point. However much I go, my father-in-law's over there and he's Welsh and my wife's Welsh, they'll say, no, we're not buying any of that. So I was on Lorraine, who I love, and she said, and the question was, who is your political hero? And I said, well, I'm going to say Nye Bevan. And he went, did you know that Nye loved his champagne, and he used to love drinking champagne? That was his tipple. And I said, I didn't know that. And I was surprised. I thought he'd be a beer drinker or whatever, but I kind of loved that he was a champagne drinker. He just was going to a pub, and he'd go, I'll have a glass of champagne, please. And I think it's marvellous. I think it's marvellous. We had a lovely chat about Nye Bevan. We finished the first leg in Cardiff, which is fantastic. And also because we're near Christmas, and I've never been there this late in the year. And I think that's another thing. I'm coming in a different time, and it's going to be, and the game's there. Because often when we come, the game's not playing as well. And I think that's going to be thrilling, because of the game as well. So, but yeah, to the last leg so we do all our Christmas celebrations. We have our Christmas dinner. We go out for a Christmas dinner. We've done Secret Santa this week, so we've got lots of things next week lined up, and it's going to be special. It's going to be special. Then next year we go on till the end of next May. So it's a long term. Couldn't be in a better city anywhere than Cardiff this week. I'm really excited. I mean, I think we all are. I mean, we're in Torquay at the moment, which is lovely, but we're all our eyes are towards Cardiff, thinking, I just can't wait to get there. And also because I've stayed down. We went to Truro to Torquay, and then we're going to Cardiff. So I've stayed down all 3 weeks. So I get there on Sunday. So I've got a whole day before we open, just to soak it all in, just to breathe in the air and soak it all in. I just thought it's so marvelous, so lucky.
My name is Hercule Poirot, and I am a detective.